As a teenager, you're probably used to having your attitude assessed and commented on by teachers and others. Employers also pay a lot of attention to the attitude of their employees. Many students take on part-time work while they're at school, TAFE or university. They might involve different industries, including retail, wholesale, catering and hospitality, manufacturing, and services. And with a shortage of certain skills right now in Australia, many school students are also looking to enter the permanent workforce directly after finishing secondary school through an apprenticeship or other training scheme.
The apprentice system basically is a 4-year training program. Each apprentice enters into a contract for training, which is a binding contract between the employer and the apprentice, which binds both parties to the training program, which includes 3 years part-time off-the-job training, generally at TAFE, a registered training organisation, generally at TAFE, between 960 to 1,040 hours off-the-job formal, if you like, theoretical training over the 4-year period.
I think if you were to look at it rationally with the traditional trade areas, I think the accrued benefits of life, money, job, work, ongoing employment, it's much misunderstood the rewards that come with those traditional trades areas.
Wherever you work, your attitude is vital. This program is about working attitude. We'll look at personality and attitude, your attitude and others, good workplace habits, teamwork and cooperation, and addressing attitude.
Look, sorry, we just don't think you've quite got the right attitude for this job.
Your attitude is your mode of thinking. How you behave in certain situations and perform at different tasks often reflects your attitude. When you're with people in any workplace, this is critical.
We all perhaps have different personality types, and what an employer is looking for most is someone that is, if you're working in a team environment, who actually enjoys being with people.
If people enjoy building, if they enjoy building houses, if they enjoy bricklaying, all of those sort of people are existing, and they can sort of say, look, I'm happy with this and I really enjoy sort of doing a good job in that area, or real estate or business administration, whatever. If they're good at it and it's tying it to their skills, then we're on the money.
Attitude comes from interest. If you're interested in something, then you have a positive attitude about it. If you're disinterested in it or you dislike it a lot, you'd probably have a bad attitude or no attitude at all. So it's crucial to be interested in what you're doing.
That's 300.
So what sort of attitude does an employer look for? And how do you find out whether you match up?
If you're working in a workplace that has a group of people, it's very important that you engage with the team. Most organisations are wanting to have employees that work well with each other. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be great mates, but it does mean that you need to have respect for each other and respect for yourself. And in the workplace, it's about getting along together.
They're wanting someone that is motivated, prepared to accept responsibility, perhaps has good communication skills, able to get on with their workmates as part of a team. So in terms of those sorts of things, you as an employee have to think about, well, what are the sorts of attitudes do I have?
Think about your general attitude, your personality and attributes. How do others see you? Do you engage with others around you? Are you helpful and do you work well in a team? Are you respectful and polite? Motivated and positive? Do you take responsibility? Maybe you're prone to impatience. Do you get uncooperative sometimes? Miserable? Angry? Everyone has positive and negative attitudes to different things in life. In any organisation, positive attitudes among staff breed far more success for everyone than negative attitudes. And regardless of your line of work, there are common attributes and attitudes that employers look for.
I should say all employers are looking for someone who is, they would expect to be reliable, punctual, and give some commitment to the training program they're going to undertake. For younger people or school leavers, there's a lot of uncertainty in respect of what they might expect through the training program or what it holds for them. So there can be just the, I guess there's the fundamental things that you need to bear in mind. You need to be able to demonstrate communication skills, the willingness to cooperate, preparedness to work within a team environment or to work in less supervised circumstances.
Your attitude is a mode of thinking about something. Behaviour reflects attitude. The attitude of people in any workplace is an important part of the way it functions. Attitude reflects personality, and employers look for certain attitudes when they are hiring employees. For the employee, self-assessment of attitude and personality is important. Working out your positive and negative attitudes. Awareness of the attitude you take into a workplace is vital.
I mean, the basis of all learning is talk to me and show me how. The basis of all relationships with people is treat me with dignity and it will be reciprocated. It's just a mature approach to being in the workplace. And I mean, if you're looking for industries that are successful, they want to make it a pleasant working environment where people stay and be a place, an employment atmosphere of choice.
A positive attitude around the workplace makes it a more enjoyable environment for everyone.
Good work environments, one where people are respected, where their position in the learning is respected. That is, you know, a young person starting off in the learning program, it has to be recognised that they are a learner, are a trainee, so they have to be respected for that their knowledge is nowhere near that of someone who is more mature or more experienced in the field.
Think how you are affected when someone shows you a negative or destructive attitude.
Hey Jody, look, I just need one more to make a team of 4 to raise money for charity. Would you be interested?
Sorry, can't. The shops are closing in 5 minutes. I'll die if I don't get another drink.
Hey Jody, before you head off to lunch, could you help me here? It'll only take 2 seconds.
Yep, sure. What do you want me to do?
But a positive attitude isn't just about people working in a more enjoyable environment, although that is important. When people display a positive attitude, when they look to be helpful and cooperative, when they take responsibility, when they are motivated and encouraging to others, a workplace is more productive, and this affects its bottom line, and ultimately, the security of the employees.
A positive attitude in the workplace is what an employer is looking for in terms of their whole staff, and it's important because if we're going to be in a place for, say, 8 hours, it's very important for people to get along. And in terms of why you're there to actually work, and perhaps you might be there to actually have outcomes that you need to meet. So if you have a positive attitude in the workplace, then people tend to be a lot more productive when they're there.
If a positive attitude affects the workplace in a positive way, the opposite is true of a negative attitude.
Look, I hope I don't get put on dispatch with Nick again this afternoon. All the guy does is whinge about not having a computerised processing system.
I know. Tell me about it. I had dispatch with him yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't hear the end of it.
even negative people don't like to be with negative people. It's amazing. People like to be with up, positive people. And having an up, positive attitude makes the day go faster, makes people want to be around you, and actually makes it possible to enjoy your day at work.
While it is important for everyone to feel as if they can get frustrations off their chest, constructive solutions go a lot further than simply complaining about a problem.
It is important to be assertive in the workplace, bearing in mind that you need to be able to express an opinion and you need to challenge. The learning experience is challenging, challenging what might be the norm or what you might be told. If you don't think it's right, then you need to be able to express that view in a way which gets your point across without being arrogant or rude. And allowing then someone to explain to you if their opinion's different, and then being able to jointly work it through.
I really hate it. The same thing happens every day, and I'm the one who gets my bum kicked. It always comes back on me.
Well, have you had a chat to them? Let them know you're not happy?
Well, no.
Well, that's what I'll do, mate. Have a quiet word to them. Let them know that you're not happy here.
When employees have a positive attitude, it makes for a more enjoyable workplace. It also makes for a more productive workplace, and this impacts on an organisation's bottom line. Negative attitudes are detrimental to a workplace, but they will always be encountered. While everyone needs to get things off their chest sometimes, solutions should be encouraged. A good attitude to work and the workplace is more important to an employer than an employee's level of skill.
The attitude that you have at your workplace is probably more important than the skills that you have. A prospective employer is looking for someone who gets along with the people that they work with, has respect for themselves in terms of how they interact with other people. They're looking for people who are generally happy with themselves and with others, and are there to actually work and make fun of their day.
The capacity to get on and make light of some situations will certainly see you through it, and have a joke and have a bit of a laugh about things that happen is a good thing, and the capacity to actually join in and have a bit of a chuckle about things that might happen or what somebody says, or not to, of course, at the expense of someone who might have a bad situation or a bad occurrence arise, but to be able to recognise what can be a humorous situation as opposed to one that's not.
Attitude is often determined by one's mood, but having good workplace habits makes it easier not to descend into negativity, even when you can't find too many reasons to smile.
But I think honesty is a pretty good thing too. I mean, you can sort of say, oh, look, you know, it was dreadful getting here today. I've got to do this. I don't know how I'm going to cope, but I'm going to do my best. And then you sort of start to generate that type B personality, sort of say, well, I'm going to make the best out of a situation that may not have been my doing, but I'm not going to add to the problems by losing my cool.
It's important to be able to leave non-work related problems where they belong, away from work.
And the kids just drove me mad this morning. They just would not get up for school. So in the end, I just spat it.
You know, and I told him if he thinks I'm going to hang out with him and his daggy mates, then he's wrong. I'm not interested. I mean, I hate those people who just follow you around and don't want them there.
And there's the missus, still fast asleep. I've got to get up. I've got to do the lunches. I've got to do my lunches. I've got to do the kids' lunches, and then I've got to come to work. And what's she do?
Most employers are not interested in the problems that you're having somewhere else. If you're having problems at home, in your marriage, with your kids, it's very important not to take them to work. Be able to hang them up on the doorpost as you walk out of the house.
It's also important to keep the lines of communication open with your manager or supervisor.
If it's something that that you have no control over and is certainly going to impact your work for a period of time, then I would suggest that you then talk to the employer and see how you can work out some other arrangements.
A good habit around the workplace is to always be looking to learn, at work or elsewhere.
But people pick up information and learn from all sorts of areas. I've seen kids in secondary schools that have told me that they're not very bright. And yet when I delve into their backgrounds, I find that they've been out in farm paddocks, welding, building paddock bombs out of material and second-hand cars all around the place, doing extremely creative things that I couldn't possibly do, and putting these cars together and having a heck of a time. And that has a vocational outcome for those people. They just can't see it.
They're obviously going to be looking for someone who's willing to learn, shows an enthusiasm to learn, because that's what the training program is all about. It can be fairly intense. It depends on which program you're entering into, but it suggests that each of the training programs can be fairly intense. So you need to show a willingness to learn, to participate, to cooperate with others.
Well-developed professional working habits also mean that the needs of customers are always put first, and that is important for the future of any workplace.
An employee's attitude can affect their dealings with customers. A customer comes into the workplace and expects that whatever it is that they are wanting to be dealt with, whether it be an actual product or whether it be a service, will be dealt with and needs to leave with confidence.
An employee's attitude is often more important to an employer than skill. Mood affects attitude, and it is important to leave other non-work related problems behind while at work and demonstrate a committed and professional attitude. Sometimes people need help with balancing work and home life. It is vital to maintain communication with managers. Willingness to always learn is an important workplace habit, as is treating customers' needs as the top priority. Whether it's in a workshop, a warehouse, or a wine bar, most jobs, casual, part-time and permanent, require you to work with other people some of the time or all of the time. We've seen already how important one's attitude towards others in the workplace is. Let's look now at a few other important points about attitude, teamwork and cooperation.
It's been shown that a group of people can always achieve a great deal more than individuals all by themselves, in the work, looking for work, or in any other endeavour. So it's always good if you can form a group of people with the same goals, the same attitude, the same mission in life, that you can be together with and achieve what you want to do.
Cooperative behaviour achieves far greater outcomes than non-cooperative behaviour, and in some jobs, it can mean the difference between life and death.
In a lot of cases, people's lives depend on the capacity of people to work as a team and to accept responsibility and authority. We have many workers, particularly in the line worker area, which is the overhead power lines, where they rely upon each other to make sure that their work is safe. So you have to be able to work in a team, and you have to be able to cooperate and accept that people's various roles within the team may be different, but each one of those differences make up the whole.
Cooperation in the workplace is a crucial element of how we get on in the working environment that we're in. It is so important in terms of getting on well with team members, because we're often in a small team or part of a large group. And it's important for communication processes, for work effectiveness, for meeting key performance indicators or production schedules, that team works together.
Teamwork is most effective when all team members are committed not only to the outcome of the organisation, but the safety, dignity and well-being of everyone else in the workplace. Individuals can develop in many ways when working in a well-functioning team.
Qualifications is something as a starting point to get people in the door. As soon as people are in the door, what employers are interested in, how are these people going to fit in, what skills do they bring? Yes, we know they've got those qualifications, but what are their real skills? What are their real abilities? How are they going to fit into this team?
A well-functioning team is one where team members have an appreciation of where they fit into the organisation's overall operations, and an awareness and basic understanding of the roles played by other members of the team.
If I'm a new employee in an organisation, it is important for me to know and understand what my work colleagues and managers or supervisors are actually doing. It's also important if I've been in that job for a period of time, because it gives you an understanding of their work pressures. It might give you a context of the importance of my job role, where it fits in.
When you're starting a new role, it's important for you to know what it is that the other people do that work around you. So, for instance, your supervisor or your manager and the hierarchy of where you work, and find out what it is that they're responsible for so that you can understand how it is that you fit in within the rest of the organisation.
A final word about teamwork and cooperation. They are important in many aspects of life, not just in the workplace. People achieve more working together than working alone. A cooperative attitude gets a team and everyone in it a lot further, a lot quicker. Most jobs involve teamwork or some degree of interaction with other workers. Many people working together achieve more than individuals working alone. Teamwork means commitment to workplace outcomes and to each other. An understanding of where you and others fit into an organisation is vital. Effective teamwork benefits the team members and customers of a workplace. Once you identify some of your own attitudes and are aware of the importance of a good attitude around workplaces, what then? Your attitude, particularly around a workplace, is something within your control.
So your attitude to your workplace is actually in your control. So it's actually up to you about how you carry out your day. And a simple activity like doing one thing different every day and just having a plan of doing that perhaps for a month will change your attitude and help you realise that you've actually got control over what it is that you do every day.
Recognition of how you express your attitude is critical. Not just the obvious things like your facial expressions, choice of words, and tone of voice. It's also about your body language, posture, and general demeanour around a workplace.
Smiling, engaging, eye contact, listening as best you can, nodding, are all very important things when you're having a conversation with anybody. Turning your back, standing at an inappropriate angle, looking at the floor when people are talking to you, it's a turn-off.
You can tell when someone's attitude is enthusiastic and positive, and it rubs off on others.
If you're interested in your work, when people talk to you about the work, you'll light up and show a great attitude about it. You can be really excited about something which anybody looking at you will say that person's got a good attitude about it if you're interested in it, if the thing really turns you on.
Being conscious of how you express your attitude around a workplace is also important because it helps you gauge the attitudes of others you work with. Simple respect, understanding and empathy between team members makes a big difference to the cohesion of any workplace.
Showing and having respect, if you show respect, it's more likely to be reciprocated than otherwise. If you attempt to understand the role that somebody has, their personality, and show an interest in them, it's a good thing.
No one can maintain a genuinely positive and bright outlook on everything 100% of the time. And sometimes it takes a conscious effort to convey an appropriately positive attitude in the workplace. But when everyone stands to benefit, the effort is worth it. Attitude is something that is within your control. Attitude is more obviously expressed through means like words and tone of voice, but more subtle elements of body language also convey attitude. Knowing how you express your attitude is important in a workplace, not just for your sake, but it helps you read others you are working with. Sometimes conscious actions are needed to ensure positive attitude is being expressed. Attitude. People make many assessments of you from your attitude. Nowhere is this more important than in a workplace, where your attitude comes under constant scrutiny from employers, customers, and work colleagues. A positive attitude in any workplace is critical to its effective functioning, and when positive attitudes prevail, the best possible outcomes for everyone are more likely to be achieved.